Well, hello and very good evening. I got dressed today. This interesting weather that we have, I'm not quite for certain how to regulate it. So, windows open and to let things in at night. Hey, Rocco. If you hear nails and strange sounds, that's just my Rocco. So, let the cool in at night. Also in the morning. And like always, when the air conditioner kicks on at its set degree, everything gets closed down, and then sometimes I get cold, and it's not exactly a low temperature. I keep it at right about 77. It's a good temperature for Rocco, and if I get cold, I put on my standard black long cardigan. I know this morning was rather deep, intense. I did spend a lot of time reflecting. Rocco's got his annual autumn itch. Not much I can do with it except give him a Benadryl and put some canine safe powder. It's his butt that bothers him, and it's happened for the last 2 autumns, so it must be an allergy. And he's rubbing his hindquarters against the bedside rail. Rocco, lay down. Or facsimile of lay down, I don't care. Well, I spent most of the day going through St. Bernice, more memories, and I realized that's an eighth of my life. No wonder there's a lot of impact in there. Because if my math is right, and this next April I'll be 64, so 8 times 8 is 64. So if we're doing some kind of equation, I guess St. Bernice was 1/8 of my life. That's a goodly time. It was a strange time in the town. The downtown was slowly dying. Buildings were crumbling apart. Houses that could be saved were sitting empty. If an old person died, more likely their kids had moved out of town and away, and all they wanted was a settlement. I noticed that in Ireland too. If someone died and there weren't no kin directly to lay hand on, they shut down the house. The first house I looked at in Castlereagh and had agreement on when I hopped on that plane with a one-way ticket was an end row house that had been shut down since the 60s when the lady died by the family. It was a 2 up, 2 down with an outside flush toilet. That'll give you an idea of the age of the row. It was on Station View Street. Had good light. Needed a whole lot of work. But the price that I had agreed on and placed offer that was accepted with the monies I was taking, I could have quickly had it done up. But once my estate agent disclosed that I was an American, the owners pulled out of the sale after an agreement. I look back at little things like that throughout my life, where things almost happened. What would have been the difference? There are so many things I would have missed. People I might not have gotten to know. Influences. Besides, it had no garden at all. Couldn't have grown anything in there. I might have grown some reefer in the house, though. Some good light came into the keeping room, which had a huge, massive fireplace, an original Welsh cupboard, and in the reception room, the original furnishings, and an Art Deco clock on the mantle, and I was told there was wormwood. Ireland's equivalent to termites? I don't know. I think it was just to keep me from falling in love with the place and fighting for it. I drew up plans for it. It would have been easy to have a 3/4 bath up and a 3/4 bath down by placement of where the windows were to the outside toilet and plumbing. It would have looked like a tower addition. You know, those hoity-toity Americans, they always have to have one roof higher than everyone else. I was just thinking about the expenses of plumbing and such. One room to the front with a little entry hall that went straight back to the kitchen keeping room. And the strangest stairway that had been made out of stone that was crumbling away. And then upstairs would be what was an east-west face. But anyway, light morning and evening. And since it was an end of row, I thought that, some windows could be put, at least one window down and one window up on the first floor. What if I would have been the old lady, the childless old lady with cats? In a bright, sunny keeping room, a bright, sunny reception room, and 2 bright bedrooms upstairs, one of them being a master bedroom with a 3/4 bath. Transition home was a dream, a precog too soon. I could have housed 3, 6, 9, 11. There were 4 bedrooms upstairs, 3 goodly sized, 1 smaller, and a full bath. And then downstairs, the beautiful entryway, the proper parlor, a common parlor dining room, a big kitchen, an ADA bedroom and bath that would have been my quarters. But those were during my troubles. Never believed when I answered McCollum that it'd be such a difficulty to be accepted. Outside of a few that I had a calling, and the calling involved modesty. Well, after my stroke, my high heels days and short skirts and being gracious were over. The old man stepped in. It was an almost dream. Needed now, refused at the time. I still have a lot of St. Bernice memories running through my mind. I'm sort of preparing myself for Monday's mission. Tomorrow I am planning on taking myself to Mass to receive Holy Eucharist. Been resting and getting my strength back. Having some deep sleeps with a little bit of get ready for this soul travel. Preparing the location of Monday ahead of time for my arrival. Now remember, I've been dead once. I know death. There's a part of me that is still on the other side. Let's call it a healing the human spirit mission journey. Maybe then I can tell you the whole of the story afterwards. I don't know if you want to hear about it. Well, there's a lot you don't want to hear about, but I've got to get off of my chest and out of my mind because it has a St. Bernice connection. Memories of another town. Searching for the little boy that I carry inside of me. He worked very hard to keep both of us alive. Suffered greatly. Childhood, teens, adult. But he kept me safe. So now I gather him into me. This might be why sometimes I refer to myself as we, us. Although I jokingly say my pronouns are Milady and Your Grace. That comes from the islands. There's some blue blood in my veins. The only thing I got was strange disorders, diseases. Well, not diseases, no one can catch them. And the anxiety cough. I was happy to know that one of my cousins has the same problem, and we come from the same bloodline. When we get anxious or in a stressful situation, there's this dry cough that wants to come up for no reason. Sometimes I blame it on the smoking. Well, I think the last of my laundry is about dry. I can make bed, set my phone alarm, get up in the morning and start all over again. Rocco likes a routine, and Mama likes a routine. I'm sorry if this morning's rambling was very deep, and that I needed to clean and clear and tell the truth about Ronnie G. So, y'all rest well. In the morning, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. I'm going to try. Good night, kids.